What is going on, guys? Averett13 here. Today I've got a video on a knife it's discontinued. Sadly, I don't know why they discontinued this knife, but I really wish that they would not have. Before I get started, huge shout out to my buddy Dan over at the Pointy End, because this is actually his knife and he sent it out for me to check out. So I'll link his channel down in the comments section or in the description of this video. So go check out his channel. Huge shout out to him. So diving right into this, my buddy Dan sent me out a few knives to check out. There's a Curtis in here, and there's a Protect Mordax in the back. But I flipped this darn pouch around, and there is this thing in here. And I was like, what in the world is this? Well, this knife I think was cool enough to do a video on. So this is the Lone Wolf Knives T2. Now, whenever I first got this knife in my hands and started tinkering with it and everything, I couldn't shake the feeling that I had seen this before somewhere. I said, I don't know what it is about this knife, but I like it, but I feel like I've seen it before. And, I'm looking this thing over, and it's a liner lock, and it's an older knife. And I flipped it over, and would you look at there? William Harsey. Well, that's when it dawned on me. I have seen this knife before because it just so happens to be one of the favorite knives in my collection. This is a Spartan Harsey folder, okay? This is a Lone Wolf Knives T2. I don't know about you guys, but those look like the same damn knife to me. Obviously, they're different. There are a few differences, but holy cow, this is... it was just the coolest thing whenever it finally dawned on me that the reason I felt like I had seen this knife before is because it's a Spartan Harsey folder, right? This was... I don't know, something about this knife. I just wish that, they would not have discontinued it. It is so freaking cool. Obviously, you can see the lineage here. Now, of course, the T2 is an older model made by Lone Wolf Knives. They're out of Portland, Oregon. I'm not even sure if they're still in business. But, this was made in Portland, Oregon. And I think the price point on it at the time was like $165. And guys, let me tell you, I wish that they would bring this knife back. I wish that they would. This, now it does have some quirks to it. Right, that pocket clip is obviously different, and it's pretty. I don't like the pocket clip. That's a pretty interesting pocket clip. But it's a liner lock, and it's just, I feel like a working man's Spartan Harsey, right? Now, that being said, obviously this all titanium version, frame lock version here would totally stand up to a lot more abuse than this guy would. But there's a lot of people who wouldn't want to A, spend the money on a knife like this, or B, use a knife like this, right? A lot of people are just going to put that up and collect it. This, people would use, right? They would use this thing, not bat an eyelash at it. I really wish they would bring this back. Now, I do wish they would make some changes, right? Now, there are actually a few things that I like better about this guy than I do this guy. And no, it's not the pocket clip. I know everybody's thinking that. No, it's not the pocket clip. I'm sorry. No. The weight on this guy, 4.2 ounces. 4.2 ounces compared to 6 ounces. This is a big, tanky folder, right? And there's a lot to be said for a 4.2 ounce knife that's this size. I mean, this is almost a 9-inch knife overall. Like I think it's something like 8.8, somewhere in that range. This is a big knife, and it's only 4.2 ounces. It really doesn't weigh that much. And then, of course, the other thing about it was the price point that these were offered at, $165. Now, yes, I know that was the price of them, whenever that was, 5 years ago, 10 years ago. I'm not sure exactly when they discontinued this guy. So, you know, today's money, maybe let's call it 235, $250. I still think that there's a lot of value to be had for a hard use knife, you know, at $230, $250, wherever they would price this in today's, you know, in today's market. But, you know, I don't know. This thing was just so cool whenever I finally had the realization of what it was, you know, and it was kind of like, you know, seeing like a photo of an old family member or maybe like your great-great-grandpa or somebody and be like, hey, that guy looks really familiar. And, you know, then you kind of realize like, holy cow. And it kind of dawns on you, you know. So just, I don't know. This is just a really cool knife that I was sad to see was discontinued whenever I started doing some research on it. And yeah, you know, Harsey, you know, Bill Harsey now does, I think, a lot of work with, of course, Spartan blades. But Spartan has a knife that's maybe kind of similar-ish. Actually, it's a complete different knife. But they've got something called like a Talos that's kind of like a budget model. But it's not this knife, right? It's a different knife. I think they should totally bring back this knife here, call it like the Spartan Harsey work knife or something. I don't know, but I think this has a place in today's market. I totally do. Now, they should tweak it a little bit because this pocket clip is it's not good at all. It's pretty bad. Yeah, it'll work as a pocket clip, but I mean, first of all, it's tip down only. I'm pretty sure it's right hand carry only. It's a ton, you know, it's nowhere near deep carry, right? That is about the most I've ever seen hanging out of a pocket. And then it almost is like a dang money clip. Like that thing is huge. But make some tweaks to this guy, and I think you've got a knife here that is very well suited to, you know, to real world use today. But yeah, guys, that's it on this video. Just really wanted to put that out there. It's so cool kind of seeing the lineage between these two, where you can really see the design influences kind of brought to the next generation, of course. But yeah, that's it, guys. Of course, like I said, huge shout out to my buddy Dan for kind of sending this guy out for me to check out. I was totally surprised with this one here. Totally surprised. So yeah, that's it, guys. Like, comment, subscribe, and as always, stay sharp.